Okay, we know we've proven this point many, many times. But again, because this channel is always talking about how to be on green energy and then supersize it, that means upgrade it to make it better. Okay, we're going to keep demonstrating this in different ways. What we have here, right here, is an LED light. That means I can turn it on. Okay, we have a phone and we have a solar panel which has a cord to charge the phone. Since we know that this is 5 volts 1 amp, we can now take this and plug it into the phone. Let's see if we can get this in there. Now, the phone didn't turn on. Okay, wait a minute. But the battery says it's not charging. Okay? And that's all we care about. Now, let's take this, the LED light, to see if this symbol up here has the electric sign. And all we're going to do is just turn this on and put it over the so. And look at that right away. Okay, let's take it away. And the symbol goes away. Let's put it back. You hear that? It's very simple. Let's see if we can get this all in frame, because you know some people are so skeptical. See, if we get this all in frame here, it's just a solar cell with the LED light. You take it away, it goes away. And right, what we're supposed to be paying attention to is that sign. And once we do, we put the solar cell on there. And look at that. LED lights. Okay, we got this experiment up and ready to show you. And what we found peculiar is that it's electronics in here to stop you from doing what they don't want you to do. And we're going to prove this. So, how are we going to do that? First of all, we're going to set up an experiment. As you can see, this has 2 solar cells. This right here is 5 volts 1 amp, no more. And the one at the bottom is 5 volts 1 amp, no more. Then we sandwiched our LED lights in there. So let's turn this on so we can see this working. So we have a battery charger. Now watch this. I'm going to plug in that battery charger and that light comes on. Okay. Now, I don't know if you see it blinking or not. This is a steady light here. It's putting out the 5 volts. Now, if we go over to this side, since that's on, we have 2 cords. We have a cord here, and for the bottom solar, we have a cord here. Okay, so we have 2 cords. Okay, now let's look at this. One, the bottom cord, this is the top cord. Okay, so now that we have this experiment going, let's see if we can charge it. First of all, let's do this. Does this have enough voltage to charge a cell phone? So let's get that back into frame here. Let's see here. If we plug that into, make sure we got this, plug this in. So we got it in. You hear a noise and it comes on. Let's do that again. I want you to be able to hear. And we have the little lightning bolt, which is right there. Come on. It wants to go out on me. Come on. We need a, okay. So that'll stay on for a little while. That little lightning bolt right up there, that's telling us that we have power. So we know that the solar is giving you exactly what it says it's supposed to give you. 5 volts, 1 amp. Okay? See the light, the when I take it out, it goes out. Let's do it again so we get a reference. I want to get it in focus. Come on now. There we go. Oh, there we go. We're at 92%. I'm going to take this US plug, and this is shore power. This is plugged into the shore power of the system. And I want you to see what happens here. Okay, see that blinking? That indicates that it is charging. When it's blinking, if it is not blinking, it just sits at standby. Or let's say we want to draw power. Now this is going to draw power and you'll see the light come on. The light comes on and it's not blinking. Now, how do we know this is pass through charging? Let's take the shore power and plug it in. And do you see that charging? And the light stays on. Now, what we're trying to do is take the power from there and make this light blink. Okay, so let's unplug this. And this is where we're going to see the little miracle go at. Because if you plug it in itself, and you know this has to do with electronics, this is 5 volts, 1 amp. Wow, why is the lights blinking? Why are the lights blinking? Let's say, oh, it doesn't like that. So let's unplug and say, okay, so if it doesn't like that, and we're going to put this down and get another battery charger. Okay, we're getting another battery charger, and we're going to plug in, and we should see the lights come on. And let's see if this actually comes on here. Do we have enough power on that top one? Or, let's see, we got a second one. Do we have enough power with the bottom one? And okay, it's charging slow. But I had to block off the light here just to get enough power for this thing to charge itself. Okay? And it's like, okay, this thing was working very well. Oh, there it is. I think it's got a short in the cord. That's blinking faster. Okay. So that we know that this 5 volts is able to charge this. But I'm probably messing up the inner charging parts of this. Now, remember, we're taking this from a second battery. Okay, so what happens if we switch it around, take this out, put this in here, the light comes on, and now we try to plug it in on itself. Since we know it was working, the light starts to blink. It is charging. So we, wait a minute. Now the lights went out. And it's not charging. How does it know which battery power? How does it know? Okay, so now that we have that, let's go back to plugging it in with a different part. Okay, now it's the capacitors in there. Remember, I'll show you a picture of what the electronics in there. I'm gonna block off this light to bounce back some more light, and there we got it. See? There we go. How does it know? How does it know? Power is power. This is not intelligent power. No, it's the electronics in here that keeps you from rerouting power back into itself. So how do we beat that? We have to make our own solar panels to get the electronics out of this. So power goes into power, because this has enough power to charge this. Okay, and as we see the cord here, let's see if we can get a good sample of that. Let's put a little light on it. Okay, so we know what kind of cord that is. Let's grab the other one. Come on, if we can get it in focus. This is a micro. It's not going to come into focus, so let's not waste time. Let's just say that we got two where you can charge at. See that? This particular one has both the micro and I forgot what they call the C-type plug. So let's plug that C-type plug in and see if we can block off enough light to bounce back into our system. And there you go. Up, it started to go. It's very sensitive. Okay. So that's good enough for here. So it's blinking off and on periodically. I think that's when the little capacitors charge up. Let's see. See that little funny little things? Okay. It is charging. And I might have ruined these solar panels because of the little gadget that is, let's see, right in this area right here, because the solar cells need to be boosted up, and I will put a picture in there so everybody can see this. I just want to throw this together to show you what my regular solar panels do, that they tried to get around technology because they knew we were going to figure this out. This is not hard to do. They should be doing it, but they don't want us having true solar batteries. So again, I can charge this thing. Other Okay, we're back. I had to go get my other battery charger. So I kind of forgot where we were at. So I'm just going to recap um, everything that we did. We used this battery charger to turn on this light, which we can demonstrate. And the light is on. And then we try to, because this has passed through charging, we try to plug it in on itself. And that's what happens when you plug it in on itself. Okay? So now that we're caught up, let's go get a bigger one. Okay? And let's do the same thing. Let's plug in the lights. And the light is on. Okay, the light is on. And this is at 99%. And let's take it and plug it in. You see it says in. And plug it in. Okay? The lights are not blinking. Okay? It doesn't have enough power to push back in there, but the light should be blinking. Let's plug in, well, we can't plug the other one in because it's a different thing, but the whole point is you see it's the electronics in the whole system. The bigger one that has pass-through charging in there is not going to do the same thing. Now, I know that this technology actually works when it's supposed to. So one more test. You see this? This has electronics in it too, and I'll explain that a little bit later. What I'm going to show is, let's get the end of it out, is that we're going to take this battery charger and we're going to take that plug and we're going to plug it in. Okay, now these lights is the indicators. When you see it blinking, it means that the light is charging. So let's do this. Let's plug it in on itself and look at that. Okay, we now have a loop. Okay, let's take this off the stand and look at this. We now have a loop. This loop down here, as you see, the red indicate that it is on one dot, so it's charging. The light is on, and let's put all this cordage inside here. So we understand that this cordage goes here. The wires ain't so messy that we can't figure that out. This one is free to now charge something. Okay, so we can charge something with that. So look at this. This whole system right here is now in a loop. And if we can take one of the solar cells, put it in a loop, and then take that and charge whatever device we want, then this system is perfect. And remember, this means, when I say perfect, it means that this system, this loop right here, it's looping between here, coming out the bottom here. Okay, so let's put this top one up there. Okay, so it's coming out this bottom here, going into this right here. And then this is coming out and running the light. Let's straighten up some of these wires. Okay, as we got this cord here. So we understand, because everything is in frame now, that this bottom one here is coming out through here, going up, and we're charging at that port, this port right here. And this is the light going back into the black wire and around and back into this light. So, does this work? Let's look at it. Yes, it's running exactly how it did. But again, if you get the wrong technology, because remember, this battery charger right here came from China. And I wanted people to understand that I bought some other devices from China. Okay. And what it did, okay, because this, just like your cell phone, this will charge all the way back up just in this loop by itself. Okay. So what I did when I bought tie grids from China, I was able to do a loop exactly like I got here. Okay. But I couldn't do that with the devices I bought from America. And I started to see that more and more and more. Okay. So either you have to buy devices that's very expensive to actually get this achieved, or you had to buy it from China. As you start doing your own experiments, as you see this is working, and again, is one more thing I want to do is to get this to charge something. I want to use this top cord right here to charge something, just to get this all the way fully functioning. So let me see how I can do that. Okay, I couldn't find an adapter to fit all the things I wanted to fit, so I can get charged. They are on order, but we're going to do this last thing is we're going to plug this into this charger and get it prepared to charge. And instead of putting this in the middle of it, I'm going to try to charge it directly and see if this works. Ooh, the light went dim, but it is working. So I'm going to plug that back in because it has something that will neutralize whatever detection they put on here. And I'll just okay, so let's plug it in. There it is. Light is on, and the lights are back to what they are. I can hear a slight hum. Okay, but it is charging and discharging, as you can see with the lights, the blue lights and the red lights. So we have our loop. We know that the technology does work. I had to put stuff in here to stop it from doing it. Let's go back and do the experiment all over with the original battery. Now, this was the battery that does not like to do that. Okay. So let's see if we can plug this into it. That got it up. And we have this. Let's see if it does anything. And let's get the light. This black cord here is the light. And now we're going to take the top cord here and plug it into itself. and it stopped blinking. Look at that. It's plugged in there, remember? Now, let's take this out and plug it directly in to itself. See? So the electronics does do what it says it does, trying to stop us from rerouting power back. Now, why does that work? Huh? Why does that work? Does it have a dial on here that keeps electricity from bouncing back? That's my first thought. Okay. So, again, if that's working now, let's see if we can get either one of these to, oh, remember, I have to block the passage, bounce back that light. So we put in a little reflective surface. It's not a full reflective surface, but we're just trying to see. Uh-oh. Maybe those diodes went bad because something is causing it to not work. Look at that. It stopped working. Now, either that thing is broken. Oh, okay. I just plugged it into another port and we got it back up and running. But while it's running, I can't see it charging. It just should be blinking off and on. And I can't get that to actually work, and I can't plug both of them in at the same time. So that's good enough for today's experiment. Again, they built something in here to keep you not going around. We got around it by just simply changing the charger, and we can see that right there is letting energy out. It has one bright light. That means it needs to be charged. And then we plugged in the charger. Let's see if we got it the right way. And it is charging. This is successful. I do believe some diodes in here. It is old. And we got this to work the way it's supposed to work. Now, I couldn't find my meter to test this. I'll probably just buy another one because I want to, in the future, show you guys how much power is coming off these solar panels. Now, we do know that these solar panels hooked up this way will charge a cell phone, but the cell phone right here is that plug right here. And it's the only plug that'll fit in here. So I would need to get an adapter to show you if it'll charge the cell phone while on this system, but we'll come back to that. Okay. We know that it will charge this cell phone. Okay. So we know that. Now we got it in full where it's going in a circle. Okay. So again, this other cord, I don't think it's powerful enough to actually charge something of significance. So we would have to find out how much power is coming off this cord. And then one more thing that we can do, we can change the levels. See, this one right here to here is wider or taller. Okay. This one is shorter. And I think if I move it up higher or make a taller box and then put my what's name in there with the reflector tape, as you can see that we do have reflective tape in there. That's how we get the extra light, that we would have enough power to charge something bigger like my tablet, which we couldn't do in the first. So But this is a complete experiment, okay? This lets you know that this technology is possible. You have to figure out which technology works with what technology in order to get the results you want. Don't think it does not work. They don't want this type of things because they're saying it's impossible for you to plug a system into itself and make it work. Well, we just did. Thank you and hope to see you in the next video.